Hi everybody, today is Friday, October 25th. So today we are starting to learn about plate tectonics. And we're going to begin to learn about the different types of plate motion. So the activities for today, first of all, I had everybody hand in their Earth layers review. I'm going to grade those over the weekend. If you did not color your diagram of Earth's layers, don't even hand it in. That's part of the requirement. So make sure that you finish that, color it, and then hand it in. I will be putting in a folder for you so that you can hand it in if you did the digital version, if you were gone yesterday and today. Then you can hand it in. Otherwise, put your paper copies in my white basket when you get back on Monday. And then here's what we did today. We went ahead and logged into Amplify. We're going to spend a few minutes exploring the plate motion simulation. And then I led an exploration mission to help students kind of learn how to navigate the sim. And so I'm going to take you and do that with you. So as you listen to me, I want you to do a split screen. And I want you to go ahead and log on to Amplify. Once you're on, go ahead and pause me if you need to wait. But once you're on, you may see a screen similar to this where it doesn't take you to your table of contents. If you're here, yours is going to look different than mine because this is the teacher one. But if you're at your home page or whatever, it may look a little bit different. You're going to come up here to the waffle icon. I call it a waffle because it's got 9 squares. And this is my programs and apps. So you're going to go ahead and click that. And then you're going to find where it shows the plate motion sim right here. And then you're going to click that. Now, if you got in and it took you to your table of contents, so this is your table of contents for 7th grade, you can do the same thing. You'll see at the very top, you've got those waffle squares. Go ahead and click on that. And then come over here to the plate motion sim. And when you open this up, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes or so. I give the kids 10 minutes in class. I'm just going to give you a couple minutes. I want you to just kind of mess around with it. We're all kinesthetic learners. I want you just to kind of mess around, see what you can do, and then come on back. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see. Let's come back here to the globe view if you're not there yet. And I want to start off here. I'm going to explain some of the features of the sim. And we'll start with, this is the globe view. So when you're here, you can choose a region. And you can go ahead and click on the region just by clicking in the box. Or you can come over to your lines and you can click a region here. Also, there's this toggle over here that says surface. So right now the surface is toggled on, and when you toggle it off, it removes the surface. And so what the kids and I talked, what does that mean? So if you're taking everything off the surface, what am I looking at right now? And this is where we went through our three key concepts. Earth's outer layer is made of hard solid rock. It's divided into sections called plates, and those plates move. So when we remove everything off the surface, what we can see is just the hard, rocky outer layer of Earth's crust. So then what are the green lines? And every single class, somebody in the class would say the green lines were the plates. And technically that's not right. So I had the kids go to Google, and I'll go ahead and do it for you. But if we go to Google, I don't want to go Google Scholar. I'm going Google. And I'm going to type in map of the United States. Okay. And I don't care what image I look at. I'm just going to pick one. So let's take a look at this one. All right. Do you see the lines in between the states? They're like pretty straight lines here in the Midwest. And then over here they get a little bit wonky. I can pick, this is an easy one because it doesn't show the, oh my goodness. Here, hopefully this one. Okay, whatever. All right, so I see there are lines in between the states. So what are those lines? They're the borders, right? Our state borders. We can also say that's the state boundary. So this is a place that marks where one state begins and the other state ends. And I can do the same thing with this. So that lime green line indicates a plate boundary, and it shows where one plate begins and the other plate ends. And so while we were looking at that, then we can see that inside that line, that is a plate. And this one over here is a plate, and that one's a plate. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to have you go into region number 1. When you get into region number 1, I want you to go ahead and toggle the surface back on. And we're just going to spend some time looking at what these tools are, okay? So the very first thing I want you to look at is this great big rectangle in the middle of the page. And I'm going to ask you, what am I looking at? So this is a map view. Look in the top left. This is a map view. So you know how we were looking at the map of the United States, and we're looking at it as if we're on above it looking down? You're doing the same thing here. You're above the globe looking down, and so this is a map view. What am I looking at? Well, I'm looking at ocean, and I'm looking at vegetation. So if I would toggle off the surface, now I see, okay, I'm not just looking at an ocean and vegetation. I'm looking at 2 different plates. How do I know that these are 2 different plates? Well, I've got that same lime green line going down the middle of that plate. This one is marked convergent, okay? Take a look at the surface. When I toggle on, I have vegetation and water. And this is kind of interesting. This purple line right here, what is that showing me? Well, if you can see, there's a link between this square and there's a link down here to a purple outline, and it's telling me this is the cross-section view. Okay, so if I come back up and let's say I toggle this up to D, see how my cross-section view changes? So it's as if I took if you could take a giant knife and make an incision right there where that purple line is, and then look at the earth sideways, that's what we're looking at. That's a cross-section view. Let's go ahead and toggle off the surface. So now here's what I see. I see gray. I see, this is in the map view. I'm looking at grays. I'm looking at light gray. And what does that mean? Well, over here, I can see that this is the plate height key. So if the higher the elevation, the lighter gray I'm going to see. So that map view region shows me that I've got some low elevation and then I've got some high elevation. And if I look at the cross-section view, sure enough, I see the low elevation and high elevation. The lime green line actually extends down in the cross-section view too. I can see it right here in the middle where these 2 plates meet. So plate number 1 is on the left, plate number 2 is on the right. Let's bring our cross-section view down all the way, and you can see that if I bring it down to J, I have a continental plate on the plate number 1, but I don't have any continental plate. I only have oceanic plate, plate number 2, because my elevation, my continent has decreased, right? I'm looking at a cross-section that doesn't include that continent. Okay, let's go over here to the bottom. You see I've got gray. That indicates the plate height, continental plate and oceanic plate. And then I've got orange. And the orange indicates the mantle. And Earth's outer layer is made of hard, solid rock. And it's divided into sections called plates. And those plates move. But how do they move? Not what direction. So sometimes they move together, sometimes they move apart, sometimes they move side to side. I'm talking what is the force, what is pushing or pulling them. And I hope you remember that that's the convection current. It's when this magma underneath the surface is turning in a circular motion, it's going to give that pull, it's going to pull that plate or push that plate. And so the mantle is colored orange, and there's this color code underneath that says its brightest orange is when That's representing soft solid rock. But I can grab this and move it over so that ultimately I can show that it's made of hard solid rock underneath. And I want to just ask the question, does it matter? Would the plates move on top of hard solid rock? Well, first of all, we have to establish that they do run on soft solid rock. So we're going to come up here and just click on the run button. And you can, gosh, there's so much that we're looking at right here. So just look at the cross section and the map view kind of at the same time. And we can see that these two plates are moving towards each other. It's convergent plate boundary. One plate is moving on top of the other plate's moving below it. That's subduction. When one plate goes under the other, that's subducting. And when one plate moves on top of the other, you can see how that elevation has changed. It's actually gotten higher. And I can tell that because I've got this light gray right here. And then down here in the cross-section view, I can see that this mountain has kind of formed. So over 200 million years, this is how far the plates have moved. And we definitely see that there is some kind of a change. Now, the plates move and they're on top of soft solid rock. Come up to the very right-hand corner and we see this arrow, circular arrow. We're going to click that. It's going to ask if we want to reset the time. It's just going to start us all over again. And we want to say, yeah, we want to restart the time. I am also going to click on build. Okay, and I'm going to move my mantle color all the way over to gray to indicate that it is hard solid rock. And I'm going to drag some markers to see if my plate moved. So I'm going to put my markers way up here at the top, kind of close to the border, but not to the plate boundary, but not on top of it because I don't want to mess things up. Okay, so I've got number 1 and number 2. You guys go ahead and do this as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit run. Now on the right-hand side, you can see my time tracker, and we've got millions of years passing. And as far as I can tell, there's absolutely no movement, nothing. I'm going to go ahead and let this run out at 200 million years. And you're going to see that there is absolutely no movement. So this is a really great model to help us understand that Earth's outer layer is made of hard solid rock. It's divided into sections, and the sections, the plates, move, but only if they're soft solid rock. So let's find out. Let's rebuild, and I'm going to ask you to move this over to here. So I know it moves on soft solid rock when it's really, really bright orange. Would it move here? I've got my 2 markers, and I'm going to run it. And sure enough, they do. They absolutely do. Okay, now I'm going to hit build again, and I'm going to toggle it down. I guess I'm just trying to see like how much soft solid rock has to be there in order for the plates to move. And I'm going to hit run. Now it's not moving as fast, but it sure is moving. So this just shows you that there just has to be some soft solid rock. Not all the plates move at the same rate. Some are faster than others. If they have really soft solid rock underneath them, it's going to move a little faster. And if it has even a little bit rigid soft solid rock underneath, it's going to move, not as fast, but it's going to move. But I want you to keep in mind, this does not happen overnight. This has taken 20 million years in our simulation. So even though soft solid rock makes it move faster, it's still relatively slow at maybe 3 centimeters per year. So it's pretty slow. Let's go ahead and let's see, was there anything else I wanted to show you? Nope, I think I'm good. I think that's it. All right, I'm going to bring you back into Schoology. In today's folder, did I have anything in here? Yes. I'm going to get rid of this cross-section option because we didn't get to that today. In this very first Exploring Plate Boundaries in the sim, we made predictions and we only did this first page. I would like you to not do anything. In fact, I'm probably going to just delete all of this stuff. And then when you come back to school on Monday, then I'm going to have you work on a paper copy. Okay? All right, that's all I've got for you today. You can feel free to mess around in that sim as much as you want to today. We're going to do 2 missions on Monday. All right? Take care. Have a great weekend. See you later.